remaining. 5 seconds remaining. TNC Predators turn Dire team pick. TNC Predators turn pack. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. TNC Predators. Dire team pick.
Grimstroke.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're doing the draft.
Remaining.
Seeing if we're as good as the guys across the hall.
Yeah, they were like,
remaining.
these guys are too clowny. Let's get some real experts like you guys are the panel. You guys are also going to be casting this game, and we're going to be taking this out of their paycheck. So, I mean, I'm down for it. So let's see what's cooking here. TNC, they open up with the Tiny and the Grimstroke. Tiny, not convinced by a position for Tiny. I mean, I've seen so many games across all other regions. It can work. I've seen Alliance playing mid Tiny yesterday. We've seen some carry Tiny the other day in Southeast Asia region. It looked really good, and I hope it's not a position 4. Omega Esports, they're opening up with the Puck, with the Centaur. Like, these two heroes are really... They gel well together, where you have like the whole team can cut into backline. You have Puck, who's very elusive. Puck's really not afraid of like... Tiny can blow up Puck, but you know, if you have that phase shift... couple of levels, you can also like dodge the spells. If you're fast enough, you could also potentially use the silence. Of course, Beastmaster gone, so thank God. Like I watched some games yesterday where Beastmaster was just, how's this even in the game? Like why is this allowed? Exactly.
Yeah, they've gone on the Grimstroke. We've seen a lot of that Grimstroke Doom combo. I think yesterday we saw it 2 or 3 times. And it just seems so strong. It's been combined with like Lion as well. You've got like Lion, Doom, anything that can get in there with the combination. Grimstroke's back in the meta, and I love it. I love this hero. I love the combinations that teams are trying to pull off. I just don't know, you know, is Double Doom going to be enough? It always feels strong, but we'll see.
Could be. It's just one of those combos that was in Dota since Grimstroke was introduced. First it was like Lich and Grimstroke, then Double Doom, Double Beastmaster Roar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking about like it doesn't. You don't necessarily need to have a combo like, but it's a bet. You know, it's something extra. If you can pull it off, Grimstroke can sustain by himself as a position 5.
Yeah, Grimstroke's like everybody always talks about I did too, the Double Doom and everything like that. But Grimstroke on his own is just one of the stronger 5 position heroes, especially right now. He feels like he's in a really good spot. We see a lot, not a lot of times, but situationally as well. Grimstrokes go for that Axe, go for that Dark Portrait, and even the Shard feels pretty strong right now. Like,
Shard is actually really super good. You know, having that extra damage, the healing that it provides, also his level 10 talent, reducing the cooldown of the Inkswell. This time around, Omega Esports, they will ban out Invoker.
Predators.
Okay.
TA ban.
TA, so that means it's a mid Puck. I don't think they're gonna flex it. And Mars against the Centaur, I like that. You know, Mars has been since he was in the game. Centaur was really popular back when Mars was introduced. So it's just a good counter. You know, you have this. You have this Mars Arena that can keep them inside.
5 seconds remaining.
It just feels like you're giving up the Doom. And that's the Double Doom, and now you've got to play around that. I think your targets, if you get the Doom, is certainly going to be that Puck, which it feels like that puts you on a more defensive lineup because you have to be worried about that Double Doom. And I wonder what Omega are going to play around this. Is if that Puck is the mid, they've got their 2-3 already picked up. They need to go for their supports. We'll have to see what they want to go for. Enchantress, Dark Willow, the 2 supports banned by TNC right now. Been really
TNC
liking
Predators turn to
Oracle
pick.
as well. Have that save scenario, but I guess we'll see what they want to go for after this pick from TNC. Grimstroke, Tiny, so far, anything from the Tiny, you just don't want him for.
Yeah, it just feels, you know, he needs his levels. Like the hero
5 seconds
needs to
remaining.
be very active. I think teams understood how to play against the Tiny with the introduction of the Fluffy Hat as well. Everyone is just tanky enough to survive through the initial burst coming out from Tiny.
So they banned that Nyx Assassin. Want to make sure that you're not in any danger of getting hit with that Spike Carapace, putting yourself out there and getting followed up by like a Centaur stun or even Puck coming in. You know, you've got, if you have that Nyx Assassin, that basically that mobile ward, that lockdown base, you know, it sets you up for Centaur to blink in or Puck to illusory orbit. Really sets up a lot here for Omega. And they do go to the Lions, so that puts Tiny in a
I love
quarrel.
that. I love that. You know, having these two heroes, you can be very active. You have the double hex, the double finger combination. Skywrath Mage plus a Centaur. I've seen this combination of two heroes across other regions. It works really well. You have a lot of potential. It scales well. Like once that silence damage reduction, magic reduction is there, combined with the double edge, with the Puck. Like this lineup is going to be super scary. They might start thinking about, you know, getting an offlaner who builds into a pipe, because they definitely need one.
We saw the Doom game one yesterday of
You could
Elephant SAG Go
potentially
Pipe, right?
get something like a Legion Commander. I wouldn't mind seeing that. We've seen one of the Chinese teams playing it, especially with the Grimstroke. It was Yang, I believe, who like
Double duel and everything.
itemized really well. You know, got that pipe, and we'll see what they decide to go for. They go for that Legion Commander. Makes a lot of sense.
The double duel isn't just for dual damage. It gives you a lot of control in
It's
these
like
fights.
the first duel is, you know, for the damage, pretty much. The second duel is I want to lock down one guy.
Yeah.
That one. It's not about I'm gonna have 200 damage 15 minutes in. It doesn't really matter. You know, it's about that control. More about like the spell against the Skywrath Mage as well. They go with the Razor. Okay, so this should be a safe lane Razor. They just want to give him a good laning stage against the Legion Commander. I want to see who's going to be playing what. I suppose it's going to be a 4-line where you want to have a stun that can keep Razor out of the static link.
I'm interested to see now if that does in fact end up being a safe lane Razor, mid Puck, or if they swap it around a little bit. Banning out that toss, banning out the PL. TNC, last pick. They're looking for a safe laner themselves. Like, what are they looking towards against this lineup at the moment?
Even though they have a Puck, which is a kind of a good response to Phantom Lancer, their heroes don't deal well with the illusions, especially Razor. Like, a lot of his damage is just spread out in the team fight. You can't find the real one. It's easy with Puck, but if you decide to get like a Hood, potentially it could be like a Hood carrier. I mean, you know, it's tricky picking into Razor, because you're like, well, yeah, we can't go Lifestealer, since that hero is really good in the lane against the Centaur, has a built-in BKB.
Go Visage. And we've seen how strong this hero is. Interesting lineup. The lockdown for them is okay. Dreamy Coil, Hoof Stomp. Skywrath maybe goes for a Rod of Atos. If it gets
Not
the gold.
necessarily. Like, it's okay build, but you could potentially, like, his cast range is not that great. So like Lens is fine. Getting possibly like a Glimmer Cape is also okay-ish. If you can farm that, it's good, but it's a very greedy build up, I would say.
Right.
And especially against the Legion Commander, where you have a Dispel mechanic.
End up going Spectre.
Okay, I love that. You know, this is the hero that with the dispersion becomes super tanky. You don't care too much about the Skywrath Mage. I like what TNC's got here. You know, they have a bit of a global presence from Spectre. It's going to be Tiny as a core, which I really like.
I think this is also a lineup for TNC. Like, you're trying to keep the map open for Spectre that can accomplish that Tiny can get going pretty quickly. If it gets like a Blink Dagger first, you get early duels. You've got burst damage from Lion at 6. I think these 4 heroes can certainly do a good job keeping the map open for Spectre, get like those first items, and then get involved afterwards.
Spectre's a bit slower compared to some other heroes that you kind of want to fight early on with, even though like some Battle Fury carriers like Juggernaut, Ursus, they will potentially join a fight. So will Spectre with the Haunt, but it's a long cooldown. Good Blade Mail game. Like it should be Blade Mail into Manta style, into something else. Probably just a bit more tankiness, Scotty type of a build from Spectre, because you get so much value from the Blade Mail here against the Skywrath Mage, against the Razor. It's just a good build up. Maybe potentially even get a Hood as a first item. I wouldn't mind seeing that here, considering the amount of magic damage that they got.
Yeah, go Hood, maybe get Blade Mail. We've seen in the past, like, I would say Ame is a good example of that with the Spectre, where you get that early Blade Mail, and if the fight's happening in the opposite lane, you got a couple heroes, or you haunt in, then you start farming the opposite way, and you do whatever you can to really up that farm, up that tick in GPM, see what you can do here. And I guess we'll have to see. TNC up against Smart Omega. Be an interesting game.
You are dead. You should run.
I'm definitely leaning a little bit more towards TNC.
Yeah, I kind of like what they got. You know, the combination with the Grimstroke. I think Legion is a bit of an underrated hero currently, considering what he provides. Like his shard is her shard. I always think of Legion Commander from Dota 1 days. I don't know why. Like you press the attack gains the spell immunity for almost 2 seconds, 175, and it also reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. So it's a pretty good damage shard.
See how that works out. Is a little bit of all chatting, some wards down here, and a D ward for Armel.
Look out for fallen
30 seconds.
That early D ward, a little bit of an advantage for the Radiant side with that vision. So we'll see how this ends up going. Mid puck up against the mid Tiny. Who are you favoring?
With the introduction of the regen rune, water rune, 2 minutes in, then you have a bounty rune, 3 minutes in, another water rune, 4 minutes in. Like he can sustain. It's of course Puck favorite, I would say. I don't think you should be able to die to Tiny. He needs a lot of mana. Also, like his combo is not going to be maxed out. He's going to get 1 point in free throw. Of course, at the start of the level, we'll max out the Avalanche, but I don't think you can kill Puck.
Unless they get a rotation, and even then, it might be a little bit difficult. I could definitely see Bloomy coming over once he's got, say, level 3. Have a Hex, Earth Spike. Maybe you catch Mac out with an Avalanche toss in that combo. But you were saying it in the draft that Puck is not the easiest to catch.
They have the tools. They have Duel. Of course, they have one of the best heroes, Lion, with the Hex. So they decided to swap things around a bit. The Razor is... I thought they were going to put the Lion, on the top lane so that they have something to instantly stun him.
Right.
Break that static link. They decided to go with the Grimstroke. Potentially there is like Inkswell, maybe counterplay, and the Stroke of Fate slow could potentially turn things around.
Yeah, Inkswell, Stroke of Fate, definitely a combo to be weary of. That with the maybe like overwhelming odds. Press the attack coming in. CML taking a lot of damage. They've got static link onto bot. CML living with just a sliver of health. Not stealing too much damage. Not amazing, just level 1. But it certainly starts to really ramp up.
This is a thief lane on top. They steal your damage, they steal your move speed, steal your attack speed.
What do you have left?
And then they start taking your HP.
So not much. Not much left once they steal everything. It certainly turned to be a pretty productive lane here for for Omega.
Mid lane, Mac, he picked up the water rune without the bottle, so not gonna get the full efficiency, while Tiny will bottle it up.
Fresh bottle. Now full of some spring water. Mixed well. Comes up Tino, but again, that damage getting sucked away. Gonna hit that hard when you're going after an aggressive play like that. And Sam H needs to be careful thinking about going in onto Gabby. He's got the slow from Shanks. So far for Gabby, just 8-1. So things a little bit difficult for the Spectre down bottom.
8 CS. You know, she will get the farm eventually. Like, Lion started with the boots of speed, so he doesn't have too much regen to offer to his Spectre as well. Boomy will steal. You know, you steal something on the top lane from us, we steal your bounty rune. That's how it goes. Just keeping things balanced.
Balancing all things. Tim's coming over, try and help out Armel. Maybe thinking about going in onto this puck. Boomy's still sitting down towards bottom. He does have one in each, the stun and the hex. Sure if that's enough yet to really make a move over towards mid and to protect Gabby, who's certainly struggling at the moment at just 13-1, but maybe he starts to get off the ground.
This lane is super strong for Omega. Shanks on a Skywrath Mage, 2 points in concussive shot. Like, you get close, Centaur with the double edge, with the stomp. Like, there's so much kill potential, and he's working towards that. Vanguard, which seems to be one of the most popular items nowadays on a Centaur. It got a buff in terms of damage reduction and costs 100 gold less.
That quick ring of health, you have that extra regen to start the lane off. He's already regenning at 10.8. Feels pretty strong. Sam H will just kill a courier. Boomy comes over. He's got the Earth Spike, but Boomy taking a lot of damage. Hex comes through.
There's the rotation.
Boomy might survive this with Tim's coming over, especially the Arcane Bolt will be first blood for Shanks, and now he's under the tower. They've got the Ice Sword over top of Sam H. First off comes in, but it's not in time. And Centaur will lose his life to Tim's. Shanks is... okay, now gonna TP back. He's sitting under that tier 1 tower for a while.
Yeah, they understand that Bok on the top lane now is not going to have a really good time because there was a rotation from position 4 Grimstroke. I like his itemization in this game. He understands I need to be able to outrun people. Goes for the boots of speed, goes for Windlace.
Already moving at 395 movement speed.
Boomy, rotation on the mid lane, Hex.
Mac with the Hex, they're going to rotate over the distance, but it's going to be in time. Avalanche toss, they've got the kill on a Mac. CML's just too late. Soul Assumption thrown over, but that's just not enough damage. He's too slow on the rotation, but TNC, it's a little bit of what we expected. Both supports coming over mid, making a play on Mac, and I mean, they get what they wanted, and they got to kill him.
Good rotation there from position 5 Lion. Like, Spectre is a bit low on HP, so she needs some kind of a help. They have no regen whatsoever. Lion is bringing a healing salve for Spectre. That's why I said maybe, you know, a Hood wouldn't be a bad choice here. To have some extra regeneration coming out from that little ring.
Right. A little bit of HP regen never hurt anybody, and it's a little bit of an investment that could certainly go a long way. I don't think it's terribly expensive to the point where Gabby's going Hood and all of a sudden he thinks to himself, man, I'm too slow at the moment. You get that Hood, you get the Blade Mail, and I think, honestly, if the team's in a decent enough spot, you're still good to go.
Haunt is available, so they can potentially make a play on a different side of the map. They have a good setup, you know. Legion Commander is struggling a bit on the top lane, just hit level 5. So I don't think they can kill Dino if he gets Static Link off on Razor. They can't kill him. Maybe if Legion Commander hits 6.
Potentially. CML taking over mid for a second as Max come over to try and just farm a stack for the moment. Maybe head towards bottom. He does have Dream Coil ready to go, going into that Witchblade first. This is left Armel to just continue to farm. He's got phase boots as well as the bottle. I'm assuming Blink Dagger next, and yeah, he'll queue that up. So Blink Dagger, mobility early here for TNC. If you can get to that Blink Dagger at a decent enough timing, and that goes back to the mindset that I had with this lineup where they've got 4 heroes that can keep the lane open for Gabby. Keep the map open.
Gabby sitting at 35 CS. Still struggling a bit. Oh, he finds the perfect item. Chipped Vest. Someone finds it for him. It's the dream, having that 5 extra HP regeneration and combined with the Blade Mail. Like, it's so much damage. Tiny on top of net worth.
Certainly a bit of a buff for that Chipped Vest.
Oh yeah, big buff.
From 3.5 to 5. Like, tier 1 item, that's a lot. And the return damage also getting increased. By the way, Sam H went for that hood. He's also going back to the Vanguard. He's also picked up a Chipped Vest. So he's getting all the items he's happy about.
Like, there are 3 heroes in this game that just love to have Chipped Vest. You have Legion Commander, you have Spectre, Centaur with the Retaliate. It's just perfect. They will have to split it, just get the half of the West. Yeah.
Rubbing the hands together. Shovel picked up. Razor sends him back immediately. Presses send on that. Gets the Chipped Vest starting to come out his way. They'll bring over Mac again, and I think he's been hanging out here bottom quite a bit. They've got Tino here too, but Tino's not working with a lot of mana. So they'll go for this. They've got the Blade Mail already pops. The early Blade Mail doing a lot of damage on the line. They got the in-swell. Looking over at Sam. X on the Centaur. They've also used that alt. Looking for dual victory too. Avalanche comes in on the map. Toss. Whale away. And finally goes down. And Bach, overwhelming odds, is what finishes him off.
Man, Spectre is so tanky. He even put, 1 extra point in dispersion instead of maxing out the Spectral Dagger. It's a lot of damage, and it's still 9 minutes in. This Spectre is such a good pick, actually, for this game.
Puck went in through Dream Coil, and all of a sudden he was down to about a third of his health and started running away.
Is under attack.
The Blade Mail, I'm not sure if that was totally expected for Spectre to have it, because it's no boots Blade Mail.
Money changes.
Maybe the timing's just the expectation of having a Blade Mail this early is not there. But it was also big rotations.
Oh yeah, it's very hard to click on a hero before a gank him to see what he got.
Sometimes people don't click.
I know some people who don't click. He's gonna get go on, and yeah, easy pick up by Mac, going into Witchblade. Bottom lane. I don't think they can defend this tower. Bach needs to get out. The coil is available.
Oh, there it is. They've got the silence, they've got the coil. They've got the kill.
This should be the tower. Meanwhile, top tier 1 tower is still standing. It's being pinged out. They have a catapult to work with. I don't know if you want to fight into Tiny with Arcanor. Like, this is the dream for Tiny.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Omega seems like they were trying to collapse on a mid tower potentially. Got a pick off there.
You go for 10. He does have his Soulbind ready to go, but I'm not sure he's going to be a get out of this one. Swell, Arcane Bolt, Plasma Field, all coming in. CML gets credit for the kill. Rotate over Armel. That's not where he wants to be, and they've used the Stampede. Burrito's getting another spike off on a Tino, but it's not enough to survive. They've already killed the Lion. Meanwhile, CML does in fact fall to Bach. He's got himself a second victory on the duel. They'll look over at Tino. They're trying to catch up. Armel has Avalanche available. Hits onto Sam H as well as Tino, but they just can't follow it up.
Buyback for nothing. I guess they were expecting a fight to still be there. We didn't see the combo yet from the Grimstroke and Lion. At least Legion is getting a second dual victory.
Yeah.
A bit of a ballsy move there from Tiny. Going in, TPing like that after one hero already died.
Into that spot too.
Surprised he managed to get out.
Dire's top tower
he
is under attack.
Went in the trees, and that was
Is under attack.
honestly a spot I think TNC were aware Omega were in. It's not like,
Dire's top
oh
tower
my god, they
is
just showed
under
up.
attack.
They were taking that tier 1 and taking that fight before he TP'd. Dream Coil used. Back over mid, Mystic Flare. Look at the damage on the Bach. We'll get a quick kill. Avalanche toss, a return on the Shanks. They've got a haste on this Tiny.
It's so good when you're controlling the runes with Tiny. When you get those up, I think a good example is yesterday's game where Alliance couldn't handle it.
Avalanche toss, the finger comes in. CML ends up dead. Now we'll see if they can get out of this without taking many casualties. It looks like Tims and Boomy are both going to fall on this. Boomy, the first one to drop on TNC, and Tims falls into the grave as Sam H gets the kill. And they kept it in. They want this. They walk over. Back Avalanche. He cannot get out. Press the attack on Inspector to look over the Tiny once again. They've got the silence. The Ancient Seal. Is it going to be enough? Looks like Armel might give up his life for this, and he Arcane Bolt comes through and does the deed. Armel giving up a 4-time spree to this Skywrath Mage.
I believe that was a finger on 10 HP Wizage there. Also, that's not the hero that you want to focus with the finger.
No.
That was the first finger usage. Infinite scaling lineup, you know, so you got to get those stacks up as soon as you can. Lion, Legion Commander. Also, I think it's a big bait for Legion Commander to get Blade Mail here as a first item. Like, your job, it doesn't make you tankier. You know, on Spectre, it's fine, you know, going in, taking up that damage because she has a dispersion. But I think Pipe is just too good to miss out, because your job is not to go in and deal damage. You still have people to, you know, burst them down with the Lion, with the Tiny. There's a ton of magical damage inside the duel. You just need to be able to go in and not care about their damage. A bit of a missed opportunity. I think this is was a big bait, and he got it. He's
Low and doesn't survive the Dream Coil. A lot of damage turned on Armel. They got the Dream Coil down. He'll snap it, and with the Soul Assumption and the Illusory Orb, CML gets the trade. They still want Tims. Little Stroke of Fate comes through. It's on the Tino as well as CML. Bach moving forward, but not close enough. Do you think maybe he's going Blade Mail because he wants to deter a Mystic Flare right on top of him? I mean, is that even enough to deter a Mystic Flare? It's so much damage. Like, it's
no, I mean, you can still die because you're taking full damage.
Yeah.
If you get, you know, Hood, you don't die. You can easily reset multiple times in a team fight. This is one, you know, I don't want to sound too harsh, but this is one of those kind of game-losing item builds where I don't know. It's just, you know, after seeing what like Yang did with the Legion Commander yesterday, like
The bar's been
Legion,
set.
yeah, the bar has been set pretty high.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Swell, just to get away. Going Aether Lens first on this Grimstroke after the Arcane Boots, so we'll have that extra cast range. We'll be able to sit back a little bit further.
Oh, you definitely need that item on a hero, because the hero feels, you know, almost unplayable if you don't have the lens.
Getting in
They
too
have
close.
some really good heroes to jump in with. You have Spectre, you have Tiny, even Legion Commander, so a lot of value coming out from that Inkswell.
First item, BKB for this Razor.
Not for myself.
And it's not even a 10-second BKB.
It's not that first 10 seconds. That's for sure. Tim's in trouble, chased. And there's Tino from the other side. They're actually just going to leave him to Tino.
I will see.
I knew he had the kill.
Middle tower is under attack.
Does it feel weird? Can't say 10-second BKB anymore?
Yeah, because it's been there forever.
That's the line. It's the go-to line. Except that 10-second BKB.
He just used a 10-second BKB. Yeah, it's now it's a 9-second BKB.
He was scared of illusion. He popped the 10-second BKB.
You also can't say, you know, the BKBs are down to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Doesn't allow me to fake hype BKBs as much anymore.
Dire's middle tower is
10
under
seconds seems so much longer than 9. It's 2 numbers instead of 1.
Yeah, 2 digits.
Big change.
Yeah, but the good thing is, you know, 6 seconds, 9 seconds, also like these 2 numbers go well together. Yeah.
Just flip over. Second for Boomy now gets the Earth Spike out. They've got the Dream Coil down. They're going to kill him to Shanks as well. Sam H. They look over at CML. They're going to try and chase with Gabby. These familiars maybe looking to catch up so they can throw down a stun, but I don't think they're available. Just coming off cooldown and able to drop down right on top of the Spectre, but CML still dies. So does Matt.
Get rid of the birds. We'll get 1. We'll get 2.
Good a chunk of gold.
Yeah, this is pretty big. You know, Omega's lineup is pretty mediocre going into mid game and late game, and it's already even. Like, just seeing the scaling capability, you did not manage to kill Spectre, not even once. Once she gets that Manta style, it also opens up the possible Roche for them if they win the next fight. An ability to get rid of the silences, get rid of the slows. This could be a bit tricky. They're over there, the welcome, and they get the tower.
Avalanche toss. Shanks just gets blown up. They're going to go after Armel. They've left him alone for a second. Overwhelming Odds comes out, stealing a lot of damage. Tino with an extra 174. Plasma Field. Inkswell still running. He's super tanky. The BKB's been popped by Tino. The 9-second BKB coming out from this Razor, and it hits him nothing. So now they start to turn. They've got the Hex. They have the duel. It's out on a map. Figure to follow it up. They have the damage to finish him. Chicken dinner, and they'll go after Tino. They've got the Avalanche with the toss. He's on the run, but not quick enough. Dominating now for Armel, looking over at CML, because he's got no mana to work with. They've got the Spectral Dagger. He got a lot of bars on that Soul Assumption, but no way to throw him, and that will be a double kill for Armel. Right towards they go.
Yeah, that's what I just said. You know, they get the 1 good 4 5 into that into Roche. They have the damage coming up from the Spectre, and the newly bought Manta style. Armel did so much work in that fight. He had the regeneration in the bottom, surprise, like 20% HP, resets, good spike on a pocket there. They get the kill. I don't think TNC can lose this game, even though it's a 3k gold lead, considering the lineup that they have and what they're playing against. It's just not doable. You know, even with the bit of a fountain dives that seems to be very popular these days, I just don't think this game's throwable at all.
Spectre already going for the Scotty, has that Aegis to work with. It's tough. Spectre's already at that point where find a fight.
They didn't manage to bring her down even once.
3-0 and 8.
And now with Aegis, you just don't have enough. Like, once Tiny gets his BKB, you have no ability to go through Magic Immunity.
It's gonna be tough.
Like, this Razor is just gonna keep falling off. Razor as a hero, he needs to be able to scale, keep fighting with the team, because his late game is just non-existent compared to some other, like, top tier carries.
Yeah, certainly not that great. He went first item BKB, now he's going into a Yasha. Like, it just does not feel like there's much of a presence from that Razor. He even got 174 stolen damage in that last fight, and it still felt like he was tickling the Tiny.
Tiny has a ton of armor, dude. Tiny is sitting at 27 armor when he's near tier 2 tower.
That's... It's always fun to watch Tiny's armor too. It just says 0+ whatever he's got. Do the easy math. Good about it. It's 22. Shanks comes in. Avalanche toss. Shanks dead again. He gets shanked. And they've got the duel out on the Razor. They have a second, and they will. So Tino. He goes down. Box got 70 duel damage. He's really starting to ramp up that number. And I guess it comes down to maybe a little bit of a different style play on the Legion commanders. Like Yang, he went pipe. He went a little bit more, I just want control with my duels. Here, I think Bach
Radiant's top tower
more looking towards getting that duel damage. With that blade mail, you're trying to secure the duels
I would still
as
prefer
much as you can.
to fight there, at least a good, to be able to soak up some damage. But yeah, he survived because the rest of the team is also, you know, playing really well. Lion has a blink dagger. Like, these items are just so valuable. Rimstroke, Lens going into Force Staff, which I really like against the Razor to push people out of the trouble. Like, Omega, they're just not playing Dota at the moment. It's just like random feeds on the map while TNC is gonna choke them out. I would definitely not be surprised if Omega just calls out in the early GG, because they know, like, teams like this, they play a lot of pubs. They have experience. They know if you see a lineup like that, you did not succeed to win the early game, you know it's just gonna get tougher over time.
It's like me and my pubs. Gives up first blood. I know at this point it's over.
Oh yeah, it's already done. You know, I missed one C. For me, you know, people might laugh, but one of the, if I'm playing, you know, any core and I miss the first CS, you know, it's a bad feeling. If I kill the first CS, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be such a good game. You know, I'm setting myself up for a really good one.
Yeah, I don't CS because I'm usually just the 5 position. Trying to be the moral.
Do you ever like steal it on purpose and then like, sorry man, you know, I was just trying to deny misclicked?
I don't do it like that.
It sounds like something you would do, you know.
Wow, I didn't know that's what you thought about me. Sometimes I'll like, if I don't think they're gonna get a CS, I'll grab it. It's followed by a berating of, dude, why are you stealing my CS? And
a lot of pings.
Yeah.
You know, what was this? You
Report AA. To be all I play these days. I do love that hero, though. More of that.
You kind of expected to get a bit more buffs in the previous patch, didn't you? But
everybody thinks it's just super strong. I just want more buffs. I actually just think the Ags should be reworked. I
yeah,
just
the
don't
Ags
think
doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for the hero. I don't think he's ever, even though I bought it yesterday, but
yeah, you need 2 charge. Let's make him have 2 charges on the blast.
That would be so strong.
Just hit him once, hit the fountain, can't heal, hit him twice after.
By refresher.
Hit him 2 more times. No, we just have to stop. A bit of a pause.
TNC, they're on the hunt, though.
Is under attack.
Got their ghillie suits on. They're looking for something.
You know when they say stats don't lie, like numbers don't lie, math is always correct, blah, blah, blah. Like this time around, it's a 5k gold lead for TNC, but it feels like it's much more. Like, in my book, the way I'm reading this game, this is a 15k gold lead for TNC.
So the numbers are on.
Yeah, in this one at least.
Okay. Toss be keeping him on. Tino, do they have the damage? He's taking a lot of damage here, and why did he die? Tino goes down first. They've got the soul mine as well as the hex on both the center as well as Punk. They're looking over as Mac. 3-man stun. That came in. So Rabs on to everybody, and they're going to take out Mac. They'll look over at CML. They've got the whip onto Sam H. They'll slow him down, but he's not the target at the moment. They're looking for this Visage and potentially even Shanks. Blinking, avalanche toss coming through the earth spike. They'll get the kill to CML. That's through down the side of Smart Omega. Well played by TNC. Maybe not getting everything they wanted, but certainly still winning the fight by quite a margin.
Radiant's courier has
It's
been
problematic for Omega because they don't have enough damage. They have nothing against the BKBs. Everyone is super tanky. All these items are starting to pile up. On TNC side, 4 staff, 1 Grimstroke done. Just needs to use the courier. His courier died. Like, Centaur is tanky, but they're doing a very good job on TNC where they just ignore the Centaur. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, we don't care too much about you. We're gonna clean up the rest, and if you're alive, we're gonna kill you as well.
Right.
Also, I would love to see leading commander picking up the shard. Just that 1.75 second BKB could turn things around. Bottom will also use the finger.
And they ripped through him so quickly. How many stacks is that for? 4?
490 damage on Legion commander on top of that.
Infinite scaling.
All they need is Pudge and Silencer for true infinite scaling lineup.
But I want to see just the infinite scaling lineups at all times. Armel now picking up that Hyperstone, so his right click's coming in pretty hard, pretty quick.
Armel has been boss this game. On Tiny, going in and out, playing a bit too aggressive at the early stages, but it doesn't matter, you know, because you have Spectre. You can afford to go for plays like that, where you go like, man, we just need to buy time, because Spectre, they have no real answer for it. They have no Silver Edge carriers, they have no break abilities. It's just that Spectre is way too problematic. 5-0-11, Manta style. Eye of Scotty also down, going into a caster, level 21, extra 400 HP from that talent. Yeah, I just, like, they have no percentage-based damage on top of that, so they have no tools whatsoever to deal with Spectre.
Basher, AC picked up for this Razor. Finally a second item there for Tino.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stroke looking towards that shard. You've got Eon Disc almost finished for the Lion.
Eon Disc on puck. So that's going to help out against the initiation coming up from Lion, Duel, Tiny.
And now your spike followed up. Being swelled. Kind of stick with it. They've got the Duel and this gets popped. Finger Avalanche toss. They'll get the kill. So like 10 damage. And then 5 stacks for Boomy. They're scaling. They're doing that thing that they do.
They don't necessarily need to rush things. They could potentially go for second Roche, which will respawn in a minute, and then just close out the game. It also gives you the shard. They have some really good shard carriers this time around. Like Tiny could potentially take it, where you have no charge limit on the tree grabs. Spectre also potentially, but I think they will prioritize either Legion Commander or give it to Tiny. Grimstroke has one queued up. It's also S tier shard. But as a position 5, maybe you do not want to give it to him. So just spend your money as a 5 on items. Big boys will get the free ones.
Yeah, Armel's shard would be good. He's already got the Hyperstone. Like, you're giving him that extra attack speed to have the tree grab, not have a limit. Like, that feels like the proper shard giving. So just 16 seconds till Roche is back up. Vision over on Boomy. They know that they're posturing. And I think Omega are going to feel forced to have to smoke and make a move to try and defend this. They were in ward vision for just a split second. Disc picked up for the Lion. $7K lead right now for TNC. Roche back up. They're into the pit. Here we go.
Let's see. They want to smoke. There is one smoke on Skyrock Mage. They're just not contesting.
It's rough to try and get in there.
But if you want to take it, like, you need to risk it. Yeah, otherwise, you're just giving them free Roche, so that's cheese ages, plus a shard. Not sure how you plan to fight after that. They should have taken this Roche back.
Ooh, actually giving the Spectre the shard. Meanwhile, CML, he's dead to Armel. So, not Tiny, not Legion. Ends up being the Spectre, giving that extra dispersion.
It's a good shard, but I don't think there is much value in this game. Like, if you're playing against something with global presence, let's say like Zeus uses ulti, you jump on top of him straight away, possibly Nature's Prophet, any kind of instant damage that can hit you in the last 8 seconds. Would still prefer either Tiny or Legion Commander. Legion Commander also not going for the shard. It's just so good, because like when you win the duel, it also procs again, press the attack, so it gives you a smaller BKB. Budget BKB, whatever you want to call it.
Although budget BKB did get a boost because full price BKB can't be that much longer.
Exactly.
Silent Stream Coil coming through that side. 2, they're going to kill on Tims. They're going to use the Stampede. The Haunt comes out. They're trying to find a target to go after. Savage first hit bash. All right. That's unfortunate.
Blank.
Gabby still trying to get the kill.
But he's too slowed. There's no way
he's getting out. He's not getting out.
Top lane though. He's low, but he's thinking about going in.
Go for it. Dual edge? No time for the duel.
He had the time. He was just afraid. You know, the Tiny's not going to back him up.
Should have went in before.
They're still in this game, you know, playing, but the game feels pretty rough. It's just that they have no answers for Spectre. They don't even have answers for Tiny anymore, who's 15th Brawl going in once again. Buys the dodge, like, pay attention. This is how you play Tiny. Any kind of, he's thinking about finger. Maybe he got out of the range. This is how you play any playmaking mids, where you have a ton of kill potential. Like, just carry that dust. Most of the people would have the bottle instead in the inventory, but since he knows there is a Glimmer Cape, he will buy the dust for himself.
Right. So, always being ready, always having that dust.
You can even see Spectre having one dust, just in case, like, she needs to get a good jump.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's holding dust in the core roll. Ack was under that ward. They knew exactly where he was. They just couldn't get there in time.
You know, next time someone flames you because you're not having a dust on a support, especially if you're someone who needs to stay further behind, you know, not get close, feel free to quote me that your carries, your mid laners should carry a dust.
Okay, lead. What does that feel like now? If 5 was 12, what is 12?
Do we just add 7, or is it like
I guess,
percentage?
Yeah. 22%? Blink Avalanche. Looking over with CML. Maybe thinking about getting that duel. Already behind the blade now. Gets the duel off. Look over to Papa B, KP. They're going to chase after Armel. He's got a static link on him, but he'll be tossed. Cheese is available. Armel has the cheese heals up, and so far just one now. A second with Shanks going down. Double edge on the Voodoo, but he's just not enough damage. Over now. And Tino again. Sobot comes in. There's the figure with the Phantoms Embrace. They've got the signs. They'll get the kill on a Tino. They'll look over at Mac, who's in the pit. He's not Roche. He's certainly in through to kill them, Roche. The question is, can they stay on top of him? Mac gets hit with that avalanche. Tosses in. Not enough damage. Just here. Where's the attack? Surviving for now. Mac maybe going after Armel to get the kill, but he finally gets out of there with the Illusory Orb. However, phase shift, Illusory Orb, blink, south, and Stroke of Fate. Ooh.
Wasn't on point. Meanwhile, like Spectre with the double damage, Aegis will just go for the high ground. They don't have enough. Spectre is also level 25, extra 5% dispersion.
And trying to roll soul section. And so that was a mistake. That was made a mistake and gone after Gabby. I will immediately tip it. Maybe Sam H has made a mistake too, because he's got the Aegis, he's got Blade Mail to
He wants to use it, but needs to be careful. They're timing it nicely. 5 seconds until Aegis is gone. Can they time it perfectly?
He's backing off. That's the wise decision.
And the regeneration kicks in. It's always delayed by like 2-3-ish seconds.
And Sam H for stomping Swell on him. The duel is there. They'll lock down Sam H. They'll get the kill. Lock with another duel victory. Double kill. CML falls. Looking like the end here for Smart Omega. They just could not outsmart their opponents on this one. And they're going to jump forward. They'll look over at Shanks. They're all getting corralled back into the base with no answer and no way to follow this up. Without the puck, they're without the Centaur. And they're going to try to defend the tier 3. Now popped once again. They've got the Avalanche, but they just don't have the vision on the Shanks. And a drain out on the CML. He's trying to run. Inkswell will pop right on top of the Visage, who's saved via the 4-staff for now. But
you know what I always say when it's time to call it? It is time to call it.
The wise words over the cost. I think that's one of those things. That holds itself up as Tino finally dies and the GG is called. It's time to call it. It's time to call it.
It is. A great performance by TNC. A great run. They had no answer for Spectre. Omega's lineup, they needed to stay 5k gold at 15 minutes in to be able to make this type of a lineup work. Didn't really work out. Armel was playing insanely well, creating a space with it.